Today, I'm going to give you my top 5 tips to get your first 50 sales on Etsy in 2026, whether you're a brand new Etsy seller or an existing seller who's struggling to get consistent sales. My name is June Wilson. I'm a top 0.1% Etsy seller. I've sold multiple 7 figures in the last 5 years, but it wasn't always that way. I struggled for the first 5 to 6 years on Etsy until I found the strategies to help bring in consistent sales and make me a successful Etsy seller. So today I am sharing with you 5 tips to help you get consistent sales, your first 50 sales, and help you build an Etsy business of your dreams. So let's dive in. My first tip is going to be do your market research before you start selling. It is imperative that you sell something that people are wanting. You want to search the market. You want to find popular items. You want to find trending items, and you want to find items that people are already selling. Now, most sellers can confuse this with being oversaturated or too much competition. But the truth is you want to sell items that a lot of people are selling because that is showing that the market is calling for these items. People are buying these products. Trust me when I say that competition is a good thing. It shows demand in the marketplace. Now, I'm not saying copy what you're seeing out there. I'm not saying look at somebody's design and steal it and copy it. I'm not saying that at all. You want to see what is popular out there, and you want to figure out what you could do to it to make it better, how to make it yours, and how to improve on that item. What is that item lacking that you can make better? How can you bring more value to that item? You also want to be sure to look at materials, fonts, colors, textures, all those kind of things to see what is trending. I know I talk to students all the time and they don't realize that fonts can trend. And yes, fonts trend, colors trend. All of those things are important when you're doing market research and you are creating your own products. Market research is also going to give you a great idea of what you can charge for your items. You want to make sure that your listings are very competitive when it comes to pricing, but you also want to make sure that you can price fairly where you are making a profit on your items. So you want to make sure before you invest into certain items and certain materials that you are going to be able to make the kind of markup that you want to before you even start selling on Etsy. Because remember, when you sell on Etsy and you create your listings, you also want to make sure that you can include your fees into your pricing. So you want to make sure that you are making a good markup that covers all your costs, pays you for your time and your talents. And then also you want to make sure that you cover your fees and shipping if you want to include shipping into your product. So you want to make sure you do your market research before you even decide what you actually are going to start selling. The next thing that's super important when you are making your Etsy listings and you want to make sales is you want to know your keywords. You want to know long and short tail keywords that are relevant to your listing and to the items that you are selling. Knowing your long and short tail keywords is what's going to help you get in front of the right buyers. Long tail keywords are far more important than short tail keywords as they are a narrower search and will get you in front of shoppers that are ready to buy right now. Now, example of a short tail keyword opposed to long tail keyword is a short tail keyword is about 2 words, 1 or 2 words. Consider birthday shirt. Birthday shirt is a very broad search. You don't know if you search birthday shirt on Etsy, you are going to get a return of probably about 1 million search results, right? It's going to show you kids' birthday shirts, boys, girls, moms, dad, brother, sisters. It's going to give you a ton of results, but you want to be more specific. That's when long tail keywords come in. And that's usually about 3 to 5 keywords. So instead of using birthday shirt, you could use birthday shirt for baby boy dinosaur design. Right? You could use something like that. And that is going to be very specific, very narrow, and it's going to get you in front of the buyer who is looking for a baby boy birthday shirt for their little boy that has a dinosaur design. So you want to be sure to use relevant keywords so Etsy will show your item in front of customers that are looking for something just like yours. Now, if you want more help on finding keywords and learning about long and short tail keywords, I highly suggest that you join my community where I teach sellers long and short tail keywords, SEO, to get more sales online. Now, my next step is going to be your photos. Now, your photos are super important and your photos go with your keywords because if your photos are not great, you're not going to get the click even if you are found with search with your keywords. And if you don't have keywords, you're not going to have your pictures won't get found anyway. So photos and keywords and SEO go hand in hand. They're like the 1-2 punch is what I tell my students and I teach in my community. You really need both of them. And again, if you have the keywords to get found, but you have a bad picture, you're not going to get the click, right? And if you have the great picture, most beautiful picture, your item looks like perfection, but you don't have the great SEO and keywords, you're not going to get found to get the click anyway. So these two go hand in hand. And pictures is such a huge deal. It is what's going to stop the scroll. And even, I know so many of us as beginners, we are terrible at photos. We know it's intimidating, but it's not going to get better unless you keep doing it. But a couple of simple basic tips is, if you are selling clothing, make sure that your item is not wrinkled. Make sure that it is hanging nicely or folded nicely. Don't have wrinkled clothing. Don't have your shirt or your sweatshirt thrown on the floor. I've seen both of those when I've done shop critiques. They're not good. You want to make sure that your first listing photo is bright, uncluttered, professional as you can make it. Make sure that you check and see if you can utilize any mock-ups. If you can maybe get a model and take a live a photo of it, like a modeled picture. You want to make sure that if it's a flat lay, that it's a clean, clear background. It's not anything cluttered. And you want to make sure that it's well lit. So I would suggest using a light box, taking a picture in front of a big window, but you want to avoid any direct sunlight and avoid shadows. You want to make it as crisp and clear as possible. Also, you want to zoom in and take close-ups. Your picture, your listing might be right next to something exactly like yours. So you want to make sure that yours stands out. And again, do your market research and see what you're competing with. And don't be intimidated. I know it's scary. I know it's hard, but it will get better. I promise. Practice makes perfect. And maybe if not perfect, it's going to make you more confident, right? So make sure to just get started. The other thing too is you will need to have a good editing system. And this can be something as simple as Canva. I use PicMonkey. I've been using PicMonkey. I've used PicMonkey for probably the last 10, 12 years. It's simple, it's easy to use, and your editing software is really what's going to make a difference when it comes to your pictures anyway. So again, this is a lesson, and this is something that I teach in my community. So if you do want more information on that, I will drop a link in the comments below, and definitely suggest checking that out. But don't be intimidated by photos. Just get started. It will get easier, I promise. My next tip is going to be offer free shipping. Etsy has flat out said that they give shops that offer the free shipping guarantee a boost in search. Hear me when I say this. Only offer free shipping if it makes sense to you. You don't want to offer free shipping if it's going to end up costing money. You always, always, always want to include the price of shipping and the cost of shipping into your listing price. You don't want to lose money on Etsy, and you still want to make sure to get that boost in search. So if it makes sense to you and if it's feasible to add the shipping into your listing price, be sure to do that. If not, if your shipping cost is high, you don't want to do that. You probably don't want to offer free shipping because it's going to make your listing price too high anyway, and it's going to price you out of the market. So I would just not offer free shipping if that was the case. I've seen plenty successful Etsy sellers not offer free shipping and still get a ton of sales. So if you can do free shipping, I would definitely utilize that strategy. But if not, don't worry about it. Your goal is not to lose money while selling on Etsy. Okay, so don't worry about that. Just use a couple of the other tactics to get more sales on Etsy. Now, my final tip to get found and get sales on Etsy is to fill out every section in your listing. You want to make sure to fill out your titles. You want to make sure to fill out your descriptions. You want to make sure to select the correct categories, attributes. You want to make sure to fill out all 13 tags, because all of these will help you get found in search and in filtered searches. If somebody is looking for a green embroidered mama sweatshirt, if you don't select green in your attributes, you're not going to show up on that filtered search. And if you fail to use all 13 tags in your listing, then those are just missed opportunities where you could be found and matched in a buyer's query. So you want to make sure to use all 13 tags. You want to make sure to fill out your categories, every attribute that is relevant to your listing. Now, you don't want to pick other things out that aren't relevant, because that's going to hurt you when people are showing your listing and they don't buy it and your listings don't convert. So you don't want to do that. But anything that is relevant to your listing, you want to make sure to click on. And it doesn't have to be exact. If your shirt is olive green and only green is an option, still pick green. It doesn't have to be perfect. If it's a rose gold earrings and all you have is gold as an option, pick gold. But still, you want to make sure that everything is filled out and is complete. Now, if you are offering free shipping or if your item is on sale, Those are also things that will be found in Etsy search. So keep that in mind. Filtered search is a huge strategy of getting your products in front of customers. So you want to be sure to do that as well. So I hope you find this video was helpful. If you want more support and strategy, be sure to check out my community. The link is down below, and be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.